So we're halfway through the year, and so far 2023 hasn't really shaped up according to what anybody had in mind. There's definitely been a roller coaster ride, ups and downs people didn't expect, including myself, and those so-called professional economists that predict trends in the market. So today I'm going to be going over what happened in June, and maybe you're thinking about selling, thinking about buying, or you want to know if it's a good idea just to hold off. I'm going to give you some information that maybe it'll help your decision making. So one of the big announcements that happened in June was that interest rates were going to be going up again by 0.25%. And everyone thought that, oh no, here comes another wave of corrections in prices like we saw earlier last year around May, April, right? And in fact, that didn't happen. Not right away anyways. So I think that showed a lot of strength in the market, as well as it showed that overall, if there isn't a ton of new listings hitting the market, there isn't a ton of inventory for buyers to choose from, what'll end up happening is we're going to be stuck in the same scenario where there's bidding wars, right? Multiple offers, competing offers, and that ultimately puts everyone in a scarcity mindset and pushes everybody to write offers that they otherwise wouldn't be writing because they are worried that they're not going to get a home. They continue to lose out on bidding wars, and now this is the only option they have. In the Fraser Valley, prices pretty much leveled off, staying between 1 to 2% above or below the previous month and median average pricing, whichever one you're looking at. And new listings, however, didn't have much of an increase. Between the different categories, I think there was actually a drop overall in new listings. And that's typically something we see in the summer months, just because, like I've said in previous videos, people are on vacation. They're summer months, kids are out of school, they're not thinking about selling their home for at least the next 2 months, unless they really have to. In Langley, prices were about an extra % lower compared to the Valley, an average price point. And then when you looked at new listings, they were substantially lower than the previous month, between 17 to 25% lower for new listings, which is going to take a toll on the market in the coming months. If we don't see new listings hitting the market, that's going to signal a lot of buyers to have to start going into the same bidding war scenarios. But again, as summer wraps up in the fall, should be seeing more listings just because people settle down, they're back from vacation, and have maybe done some work around the house now that they've had time and the weather's been accommodating. If you're thinking about selling in Langley right now, the most popular neighborhoods with the highest sales through ratios were Aldergrove with 61%, Brookswood with 56%, Fort Langley with 58%, Murrayville with 62%, Walnut Grove with 81%, and Willoughby with 71%. So overall, still really high sales ratios. Those are for detached. And when it came to strata, condos and townhomes, again, not many of those areas have condos and townhomes. But if you compare Walnut Grove and Willoughby, they probably had the highest considering the amount of condos and townhomes that they have in those areas. And then followed very closely behind by Murrayville and Langley City. And Fort Langley, of course, there's not many condos and townhomes as well. So there was 3 new listings in Fort Langley, 4 of them sold. So that gave it a 113% ratio, which again, it's Fort Langley, so there's not too many of those type of homes. If you're thinking about buying, the best opportunities right now in Langley are for detached homes between 2.7 and 3 million. Those are the least active price bands in Campbell Valley, Langley City, and Salmon River. So these areas have the least activity, but they have the most listings available to choose from. Langley City is always on that list. I feel like there's so many homes in that area, and people tend to not have Langley City as their number one choice because there's only specific areas of Langley City that are very family friendly. If you're a buyer right now looking for a strata property, the best opportunity is in between the 600 and 700,000 range. So those are usually condos in Langley City, Murrayville, and again, that's because there's a lot more listings and less sales compared to the amount of new listings, right? So that means there's a lot of homes left over for buyers to essentially look at. So just to wrap things up here, pretty much this video is going to come out after the rate hike announcement, but as of right now, they are considering hiking rates one more time in July. If they do, we'll see what happens, because ultimately in June it didn't make a huge difference. But moving forward, after all of the current buyers' pre-approvals are expired or they buy, the people that come in, new buyers looking to buy in the fall and winter, they're going to be affected by it. Their purchasing power is going to be lower, which in turn might bring down the average price points, unless there is a problem that we always have around that time of year where there isn't enough listings. So if we have 5 homes for sale in an area instead of the typical 20 to 30, you can bet that we're still going to have bidding wars and prices will still have some pressure on them. So it'll all depend on a couple of those factors. Obviously, a lot of other factors, but I feel like those are the 2 major ones. If you have any questions about that, reach out to me. My contact information is down below. And if you want to see how much your home's worth, shoot me a message. I'll give you a quick home evaluation. Make sure you subscribe. I make videos like this every single month and do home tour videos as well, so you can see what style of home is actually in and around the Fraser Valley Langley area. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.